Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to Monday Minutes. Brief look back to last week. Obviously, another Fed meeting in the books. The Fed is not thinking about tapering. When we look at tapering in general, we need more data. That is what the Fed is saying. They're outcome-based, not outlook-based, more reactionary versus being proactive in the past. So if you look at that timetable of tapering, first we need to start thinking about tapering. And then from there, the Fed has said very clearly they're going to give more than advance notice in terms of the timetable, the implementation. Certainly as we head into the summer months, should we continue to see the data improve, this is something that should be on everyone's radar screen. I think the market is well prepared. The market is giving the Fed a window here of time with the acceptance that at some point, these are no longer emergency conditions. And I think the market knows that the Fed will at some point start to pare back on those asset purchases. But the runway for that in terms of advance notice and then the implementation to take those purchases down to zero is quite long. On the inflation side, the Fed obviously using the word transitory ad nauseum here. And the reality is, if you listen to Clarida a couple of weeks back in April, he did say explicitly the Fed is well aware of these base effects, the bottlenecks, the supply chain issues related to COVID. The question is, how long do those issues actually last? What is transitory? And the Fed is saying, look, by the end of 2021 into early 2022, we will know if we're wrong on inflation. We did expect the chairman to push back a little bit in the meeting. He did, in spirit at least, saying that we not only have the tools, but we will use the tools if we need to. So the inflation story is really one that on a short-term basis, the market, I think, has its arms around in terms of the uptick that we've seen to date. The real battle, I think, will be into the fall, into the fourth quarter. And then on the employment side, clearly we get a payroll number on Friday. The chairman has said it's not one number, but he also did say in his meeting that we don't need to get all the jobs back. And for context, if we go back to the global financial crisis, clearly a housing crisis, the jobs that were lost through the global financial crisis, certainly we did not get all those jobs back. I think the expectation here would be the same, but we do need to see consistent numbers going forward. We do think it's the employment side of the equation. Back to Clarida in terms of inflation. Ultimately, the Fed is going to watch wages short term. And then on the employment side, 1 million jobs last month, expectations similar to this month. We're going to need to see repeated numbers like that as we head into late spring, into the summer, as we head to the semi-annual testimony for the chairman and the Jackson Hole Summit in August. On the ground this week, very busy week. Powell will speak at 2:20 this afternoon. We get decisions from the Bank of England, the RBA. We get ISM data, manufacturing and non-manufacturing. And in addition to that, clearly we get the Treasury's refunding announcement on Wednesday. And then front and center will be the payroll number this Friday. Wishing everyone a great week. I'm Greg Faranello, head of U.S. rates for AmeriVet Securities.